As the title suggests, we're going to be going through some of my old art pieces and trying to fix them today. Now, throughout this, I kind of talk with a lisp as I am here, as I went to the dentist yesterday and my mouth is a bit numb, as well as the fact that I have metal lodged in my mouth temporarily. I hope to return normal to making videos soon, but for the meantime, I'm going to be talking a little bit weird, and it's going to be hard to talk because I'm just not used to this metal in my mouth yet. Thank you for understanding in advance, but let's get into the video. I noticed this one in particular due to the number of mistakes in it. Now, I went through this in another one of my videos, but I decided to go through it again and give a full in-depth explanation as to the mistakes I made and how to notice them in your own pieces. Now, the first thing I'd like to point out is the jaw. Now, we can look here into that there is a clear bump, and as well as a angle right here that goes that way. But in my piece, it goes kind of like a curve this way. So that is the first thing I would like to fix. Another thing I noticed is the positioning of the eyes. Now we can see here that they are far different from the eyes here. As they go this way, the eye lines connect and they look a lot more clear. While here, this one seems to be off. That's way more, this one is way more off. Now I want to go through and fix those as well. One of the smaller mistakes I made is right here, the shading. Due to lack of saturation in between the midtones and the shade, I get muddy colors and it adds for a worse piece. I'd like to go through and fix that, as well as deepen the shadows. Another mistake that I realized is that I've made the nose at a wrong angle, and also I've made it a little long, so I want to go through and fix that as well. I'd like to change the positioning of the mouth and the beard and fix them to be more in line with here, as well with the chin length and the ratio between the eyes, the nose, and the chin. Now we can see here that in comparison to the actual reference photo, it is a bit off, so you want to go through and fix that. But overall, it shouldn't take that long, and it's not that many mistakes that I've made. It may sound like a lot, but overall, it should be a pretty quick fix. But I will go through them, and I'll fix them, and I'll see you in a second. Now, this is the before, and this is the after. Now, I added a little bit of saturation on the hair, and I also changed the angle of the jaw, and I also went through and changed the size of the pupils as well as the size of the iris. Now I fixed a lot of the things I said, and there's a few smaller details that I can't remember right now, but as you can see, this is a huge difference and it's really night and day. You can see right here, even the hair was changed the angle. Now I went through and I fixed this piece. I think this looks great, but let me know what you think about it. I really like this one, but there are definitely mistakes here. As you can see, right here, if you compare the jaw right here, the angle of it, much similar before, I am noticing a pattern here. While here, it seems to be more straight. Of course, there is a slight curve. Right here, the curve seems to be way more drastic, as well as a bit shorter. Same for this one. I would like to make this a bit longer and make it more proportionate to the actual photo. Now, I like what I was doing here, and obviously this is not supposed to be photorealistic, but more of a artistic interpretation. But I would still like to make it more accurate to the reference photo and add more better shading. Because as you can see, I am a bit light around the eyes area compared to the actual photo. It's a bit hard to make out his eyes, but here is quite easy. So I like to go over that and make that a bit better. Give me a little while, I'm going to go over that and I'm going to fix it. And I'll add a few small details and I'll give my explanation and my thoughts afterwards. Alright, now I went through and I changed the angle of the jawline. I raised the hairline a little bit, thinned out his face, also widened the eyes, and then changed the angle of the nose, as well as a little bit slight angle change of the eyes. I went and I deepened the lips and gave them more contrast. and I also added more shadow on a multiply layer, along with changing a few other shapes, and as well as adding a little bit of saturation between the shadow and highlights of the hair. Now I will go over and I'll explain some of this to you real quick. So right here, I go through and I added a little bit of darker shadow around here, as well as going around the entire eyes with a lighter shadow. I went through with a highlight around all the highlight areas, and I added saturation. As you can see, this is far more accurate to the original representation of the picture. Of course, it is not perfect, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was to improve the drawing and try and make it look more presentable. I'm a lot happier with this. Let me know what you think. Further explanation may be required in another video, but I think for now this is fine. I forgot to mention earlier in the earlier ones that a good sketch can make or break your piece, and as you can see, my sketch was obviously not that great. Also, it is great to take advantage of multiply layers. As you can see, I did not do that here. It's why the coloring looks incredibly flat. So I want to go through and try and fix it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fix this one, as I think it is too far gone. I'm not impressed with this piece, to say the least. Though I like what I was going for, and I like the style I went for. Well, I do want to try and fix the details on the hair. As you can see, it's very flat, and there's not very much style there. So I want to try and make that better. As you can see, I did add the highlight under the chin, as you can see from the picture. As you can see, that's from subsurface scattering, where the light bounces off her collarbone or her chest area and bounces up, and that's why there is a light under her chin, a slight one, but still a light. So we want to make sure we take advantage and look at details like that. Without further ado, I'm going to try and do my very best to restore this piece, but I don't know if that will be possible. I guess I'll see you in a second. Alright, so what I noticed last time is the detail on the hair. It was a little over detailed, so I simplified it a little bit, and I added a lot of shadow and fixed the overall edges of the painting because it was a little rough around. Still a little rough, but I didn't go too hard on that. I mostly focused my efforts into the shading, as you can see around this area right here. And I also fixed the angle of the eye, as the eye is coming from a down angle, so as you can see right here, I added a little bit of cheek that the eye overhangs. I also fixed the angle of the mouth, and I left this part right until right now, but I would like to go back in and right here, and I would like to go around the curvature of the face to show how shadow wraps around. The shadow will typically wrap around the face and wrap around the cheek, and it will go around to the eye, like this, going around here to the temples. Now, as you can see in the reference photo, due to the angle of her head, it wraps a bit around like this way, and we can see I might have overrun it a little bit, but as you can see, it looks fairly well. I think this looks a lot better than before. Of course, it's not perfect, nor is it the thing I fixed the most, but I'm still pretty happy with it. I think it's better than it was before, and overall, I think it definitely looks more presentable, and I'm a lot happier than it was before. Anyway, it's not really my opinion that matters. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment. You can send me anything you want me to redraw. I can go over them myself, and I'll show you what I would have done differently in your drawings. Or, maybe I can get some suggestions in the comments about what, about what other ideas you may have, including looking at other artists' work and pointing out how they do the things that they do and why the art is so great. I'm thinking about making a Fiverr on pretty soon so that I can do commissions. If you would like that, let me know, but it's really all up to you guys. If this video does well, I'll do another version of this, but Let me know what other type of content you might want in the comments. I'm pretty new to YouTube, so I'm not really quite sure how to do this whole thing, but thank you for watching. Peace out.